Welcome to Caddie Quick Clips, the quick guide to successful drawing and modelling with Caddie. In this exercise we're going to take a look at how we can change the way our drawings print out based upon the plot configuration that we choose for the viewport or the sheet that we're using. So here we have two identical looking viewports on our sheet here, but one is using style 1, one is using style 2. Let's just take a quick look at how we can set those in the first instance. We'll take a look then at how they reproduce on the plot preview, and then we'll look further into how we can choose the settings for ourselves for the individual pens. So we're in our Sheets tools, we go to Set Sheet, and we see that we have our choice of printer, and down under the plot settings section we have style 1, and we have various other styles available to us. We can create multiple ones of these. We can even take them from other people who send us drawings and so on. So that's the style for the sheet, and if we choose the individual viewport we notice a couple of things here. Firstly, the viewport boundary, so that the border is not plottable, although you can change that if you wish. And then if we look down at the plot style, it's using the one as defined by the sheet which we just looked at. Coming to viewport 2, we'll see that that one is using an override, so we're actually overriding the main style sheet there, style of the sheet, to say we're using style 2. Going to our print preview or file print, whichever is your preference, we can see that we can go to preview, and now we get the difference. So style 1 is giving us a predominantly black or grey representation of our elevation, where style 2 is giving us a colour view. And if we zoom in we can see that there are different thicknesses portrayed there too. We'll close the preview and we'll take a look at how we define those configuration settings. File, Configure Plot Styles is where we get to the plot configuration settings, and we'll see we have our different style files there which we can copy, we can save, we can amend. But taking style 1, we see that we have the Caddie pens. So these are the pens that we're actually drawing in. So when we draw in pen 1, pen 2, pen 3, pen 4 or whatever, we see that as the Caddie pen. Our choice then is whether to use the object colour for that pen, so in other words red or yellow or green, as we see when we draw, or to override that with a custom setting. Now the custom setting here is set to black. We can choose any colour we wish. There are more colours available, including greys, and through to custom, where we can choose any hue we like, maybe to tally with corporate colours, for instance. Coming down the list, we'll see that we have a changing pen width too. So as we change here, rather than using the object pen width where we define a width for every line that we draw, we're saying here every time I draw a red line I would like it to print out with a thickness of 0.1, and in this instance black. And what we'll see if we choose style 2 is that the settings have changed here. So now we're using the object colour, and coming down to pen 2 again we're using the object colour, and we're also using the object pen widths. And if we look to the right we can see a summary of those particular settings, and we can expand those as we wish. So there are our print settings. Now if we go to the model we'll see that we do in fact have different pens that we've used for the hatches, for instance, for the polylines. So it's when we've drawn in our different pens and we use those pens and a mapping style to plot them to our printer that we see the different colours and line weights translated into the finished product. Just as a closing, we'll see that if we were to choose not to use the CTB settings, we can actually define each line by thickness on the screen. Back to our print plot settings. So just to reaffirm what we were saying before, we have our main plot style 1 with an override on the second one, which is style 2. We'll preview that, and we see that we have black and white and colour for the same viewport, albeit with slightly different pen configuration settings for printing. For more information on Caddie, go to www.caddiesoftware.com.